Welcome back. This is part 2 of the Wilton Bullet Vise restoration. If you remember in part 1, the disassembly, I disassembled everything except for the key, but I did not mention disassembling the tailpiece from the nut. And the reason I did this is so when I was cleaning it up, I'd have something to hang on to. So while cleaning it up, I realized the end of this is pretty buggered up, so maybe we're gonna have a little machining on this project besides the anvil. So I got it pretty much cleaned up, just with the wire wheel. I didn't do much of this at all. I did do a little bit on the jaws with the wire wheel. They came up pretty nice. I believe these are the original jaws. They're stamped with a part number. And I'm still not really sure about this date stamp here, guys. I did some research and I saw some stuff. I've never seen one stamped like this. It's a 176-71. So, not really sure the year, but I'm assuming 1971. So again, all you Wilton Vise experts, let me know what year this really is. I'd like to know. So anyway, let's move forward and removing this tailpiece from the nut. You didn't think it was going to be that simple, did you? Okay, here's my little baby Harbor Freight press I've had for a long time. We'll give this thing a little bit of pressure and see what happens. Let me zoom in on this so you can watch me break it. All right, here we go. A little nervous about this. Something moved. Let's take a look. Okay, it moved. Excellent. The cheapy Harbor Freight big socket set comes in handy for more than just one thing. They suck as sockets but work good as spacers and stuff. She's coming. It's fighting me all the way. I see, I see a little rust inside there. But should have just broke it loose. Let's let that soak for a minute and then we'll resume. Back to the press. I got about a little more than a ½ inch inside that socket. So let's see if this will free it up. There it goes, it's going. It's stiff, it's still pretty stiff though. I should be able to feel it when it stops. Oh, it just stopped. It's still on there tight. Okay, I can play that game too. I want to show you something I added to my hydraulic cylinder that's really handy. I just machined a little handle right here. So it makes it easy so you don't have to use the bar each time. So now you got this. Oh, I just found an old handle off something and machined a sleeve and pinned it on. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Probably already did it. Okay, let's resume. Now I have two of the plates straddling the nut, catching the edge of the tailpiece. So this should do it. I'll put my hand under here in case it decides to just fly out. It's got tension the whole way. Oh, there we go. Sweet! There she is. Okay, back over to the workbench. We've gotten this far, so it's still not slipping off. Looks like it's gonna fight me. The end's a little buggered up. Okay. What I should have done was when it was in the press, just left it in there and I got a smaller pad and pushed down on it. So maybe I'll do that if this doesn't slip right off. There we go. She's apart. This is definitely getting cleaned up in the lathe. Shit, this piece isn't even round. This is going to be, this is going to be interesting. Okay, let's, if I just flatten that out, I'd be happy. Maybe hit this with some sandpaper. I don't want to grab too hard. It is only cast iron. All right, let me bring you in. Let's get a cutter first. One of my favorite cutters, the WNMG. All right, this is cast iron, so let's try to minimize the cast iron on my machine. Throw a little magnet here and there to help hold it on. All right, we're spinning at 460 RPM. our final cut. I'll just let it power feed. All right, there's one really deep spot. I'm not going to go after that. That's in the casting, and I'll have to remove a lot more material to get to that. I don't think I want to do that. So let's leave it. Let's throw a chamfer on the edges, and we'll be good to go. Knock down some high spots here. Okay, over to the workbench. Okay, here's our lead screw nut, somewhat cleaned up. You can see I wasn't going down that deep, but for the most part it's faced, broke the edges, knocked down the high spots here. So. Might have to knock this edge down too, because it's still tight in here. We'll get after it. Okay, next let's chuck this up and just face this slightly and clean it up a bit. And maybe hit this with some sandpaper, brighten it up. And just hit this with some sandpaper on the inside. I'll check the diameter to the tail cap, because I'm not sure what that dimension's supposed to be, but it is a pretty rough casting right there. All right, so let's get this chucked up. Yeah, she's running out, but not too bad. Looking pretty good. Doesn't even really have a sharp edge. I think we'll just hit it with some sandpaper and call it good. I decided I'm going to run a boring bar in this first opening and then inside here, but just a very, very light kiss, just a light kiss cut. Just to clean up some of the rough edges, because you saw how hard that piece was to come out. So let's do that next. Down some high spots here on the inside where the nut slides through. Just barely kissing it. All right, let's give it a trial fit with the nut. going in. That's good. That's good. Let's call that good. I just found something pretty interesting here I'd like to share. So what I have here is the tail piece and the nut, of course. Well, the nut has these little shoulders on here that's made to lock, let me get my, lock into these guys right here, okay? So that way it's pretty much clocked. There's 4 different places it can lock in, as you can see. I have my drill bit with the tail piece locked in and lined up with the hole. But as I was putting this in to try to line up the existing hole, none of them line up. So I think somebody at Wilton was mad at their boss in 1971 and just slammed this thing together. So what I'm gonna have to do is basically get this thing clocked correctly and take the opposite side of these holes and drill new holes. That way it's gonna sit in here clocked. So I thought I would share that. I'm glad I found it. I would have found it eventually when I went to go put it back together. Okay, the best fit up I can find, where it fits the best. I'm only a little bit away from the other one, but I don't think it'll really be a problem because the nut pulls up against the end piece. This is basically just to hold it in place, and it fits in this one the best. The rest of them are pretty bad, but this one, it just kind of found its home right there. So I think we'll go with that. So let's try a temporary fit up to make sure everything else will function correctly. I have 2 3/16 drill bits here to hold it in. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. It went right in. I think that'll work, man. I think that will work. Looks like the screw comes all the way through. All right, let's drill some holes, man. Okay, before I drill, I want to measure that pin to make sure it's not under 3/16. It measures 183 and a half, 183 and a half. And the drill bit I'm using is a 3/16, and this measures, okay, this measures 185, so it's a little under 3/16. I think I want to go with a smaller hole so that thing fits tight. Yeah, that's measuring, yep. This is undersized just a little bit. Hey, maybe I can find a 3/16 bit that's drills undersized. Let me take a look, I'll be back. Okay, sure enough, I found a 3/16 drill bit that's a little undersized. That one is 83 and a half, the same exact size as the pin. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, what I did here, I fit it all up. These are sitting in here loose, and I put the screw in and I tightened it up, and that way it would suck this tail piece in. So basically I'll put a piece of this drill rod in one side. I'll drill, but not poke through because I got my lead screw in there. So I'll just start it and then come back and finish the hole off after I start both sides. So let me reposition the camera and we'll go. Should have just done this the first time. I just threw a piece of tubing on there with a washer, and now the thing won't even be in the way. That way it'll pull up against it. I don't have to worry about it coming loose. Now I can get rid of my tape. Make sure they're lined up. Okay. Sits up a little higher, so let me reposition. Okay, I have everything lined up. The screw in here cinched down with a spacer down here. Pull everything tight. Now I can go right on through without hitting the lead screw. There we go. One down. Got a little bugger in there. There we go. Next. There we go. Sweet. Okay, let me clean up the mess and move to the next step. Okay, here's what we have now. 2 new holes. And this sits nice and flush now. And it's keyed in now, locked in. And there's the new hole next to the old hole. Okay, let's get this thing on the middle and touch off on it. Just clean it up a bit. I'm going to sweep that jaw face so we can get it square on the table. Either end is 0, but the middle is high. You know what? I'm gonna go with shit. I think I'm gonna go with it. I mean, it's within. Oops. Hey, that's good, man. Let's cinch her down and then take another look at it. Okay, we're going to use a Sandvik face mill, and the reason I chose this one is it has radiused corners. So when I get to the edge of that little anvil, it'll leave a nice little tiny rounded edge that I could blend in here if I wanted to. Oh, I gotta turn on the air compressor. Hold on a second. let me reposition, get you in on this one. Okay, I'm gonna buzz about 10 thou off of it. Let me check the speed here. I think we'll crank it up to about, I don't know, 1,000. Let's go 1,200. Let's take a look at that. Okay, what I've seen in the pictures is the edge of the anvil is right over the T in Wilton on this side. So I could come back a little bit more. Yeah, see how the T's way up on this one? It's further back on that one. So I think I'll just come back a little bit more. Okay, just pulled it off the mill, and here's our machined anvil. Again, we did that with a 1-inch Sandvik face mill with inserts, and turned out pretty good. A lot better than it was anyway. So I'm happy with that. So I guess I better get back to cleaning with the wire wheel. So I think that's all of the machining that needs to be done. I can recap. We machined the anvil, of course, and we cleaned up the nut. We relocated it back to its locking tabs, re-drilled it. So now this will be correct. And it sits flat in here now. We faced that. We cleaned up the edges. And to be quite honest, guys, I took out most of this inclusion here, this grinder. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna clean it up. I'm gonna just finish wire wheel and everything, and then I have to decide on the color. I'm thinking about that Rusto Verde Hammer Green, which matches the original color. I do like blue. So, you know, I really don't know, guys. I'll poke around and see some pictures of colors. I'm not gonna go with hot pink like Brad Jacobs, Wilton Vise. And I'm not gonna go with fluorescent green either, even though it kind of looks cool, but I think this guy deserves maybe its original color. I just wish this Verde green had more blue in it, because I like blue. So maybe I could find one close to this with a little hinge of blue in it, a little tint of blue. So I was thinking about machining these, but I thought, nah, I'm gonna paint these. So I'm just gonna clean them up real good and paint them. I'm thinking about making a set of jaws for them that overhang just a little bit to protect these edges. So that way the jaws, once they're installed on here permanently, they'll stick out past this a tiny bit. So it'll protect these sides from getting buggered up. So anyway, back to the wire wheel.